Part 2. So last week we talked about, not last week, oh my god, I'm so used to that. 2 days ago we talked about 5 skills that you need to have to be a remote worker. So here are 5 more skills that you need to have. This more now, the next section has more about they have a bit more in-depth type of skills, but you can still learn. You only need to have interest. I believe as long as you have the interest, be assured you can learn this. So we have web design. Web design, this is designing of websites and all that. And you can learn the most basic web design, that is using already existing platforms that do that, like Wix.com, WordPress, Shopify. So you can be an expert. All you need to know is each platform, it needs to really play around with the fonts, play around with how it looks. The templates are already there, so it's up to you on how you make it really appealing to your client. So you can actually do 2-3 websites for your own, and then you can build that as your portfolio. You can use that as a portfolio. So that is web design, but you can go into depth of it if you really want. As I said, this video is all about just listing the skills first, and then we'll go into the depth of how each skill, what are the requirements, or you can learn about them, what blah blah blah. Yes. The other one is web development, and that is our front end. This one you need to learn CSS, HTML, JavaScript. That's why I'm saying it's a bit more in depth, but as I said, you can learn. It doesn't mean that because you didn't do anything related to that, it only needs your interest. The moment you have your interest, you're good to go. The other thing is you can be an iOS or an Android app developer. So those are people who are specialized in developing apps for either iOS or either for web developers. If you're more into the iOS, meaning you have high chances of getting or landing a remote job with Apple. And if you're more into Android, now you're diverse, you can land yourself into others. So the other bit, which number are we again? I think I'm a bit lost, but it's okay. Software development and computer programming. So this is more on the coding, and the software developer comes with the codes, and the codes, they help to build the software or the product. That is, they can do apps, they can do video games, they can do websites, they can do softwares, but it's more of the coding bit of it. So they code, and yes. Then you have the graphic designer. So graphic designer, you can, when you start as a graphic designer, this is usually about the visual context of something. So it can be typology, that's how the fonts appear, on a website and all that, or on a mobile device, on all that. Then you have basic design foundations, that is how color affects the user who is using it, how the logo is placed on the website, things like those. Now after that, there are 2 things here, 3 rather, I will say, that usually go hand in hand. So there's graphic designer, there's a UI designer, and there's a UX designer. So the UI designer, this is user interface. These ones more of the user interface is how the user, you see how you come to YouTube, and up here there's the home button, there's a search button, there's that is user, how the user interface looks like. That is how a mobile software will look like, how a mobile app will look like, that is the user interface. Then you have the user experience. User experience is how do you feel when you use YouTube. Is it friendly? Is it easy to search for content? Is it easy to look for where something is? So that it comes in with, let's say, a website. you're on a website, how easy is it to locate the search icon on that website and all that. So that is user experience. Most of the time you'll find a user UI. You'll find the UI UX becoming one. Rarely will you find it as a UI design alone. Mostly it's UI UX design. So this is more of the advanced stages of a graphic designer. Yes, and then you're gonna stop there. So next week I will do the remaining skills. Yes, and I really hope I'm gonna build up on this.